I'm gonna get out here live though.
I ain't no killer, but don't push me. Just get a $2. Get the fuck out of here.
I ain't no killer, but don't push me. All right, you ready?
I am.
And in 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing today? I am your host, the Landover Legend, aka Big T. And today I am recording a very special episode of the I Can't Make This Up podcast. I actually have been scared to do this one because I didn't know if I was going to make it out of it alive or not. But I contacted a few people at the police department, let them know I was going to be at. So, I kind of secured my safety. But then again, that might not mean a thing when it comes to my next guest. But I would like to thank her for joining me today. She is a very busy entrepreneur. She's a mother, business owner, a senior cosmetologist, makeup artist, photographer, and also looking forward into getting into the baking game to take that over as well. My next guest, Lydia Patrick, everyone.
Hello.
She's very
I'm pushing my words.
She's very stern and at the same time brilliant, but mean with a hint of truth in all her words. So, I want you to take that in advance. Lydia, why don't you introduce yourself to my audience?
Hello. My name is Lydia. Lydia, not Linda, not Olivia. I'm a senior cosmetologist out of Crofton, Maryland, originally Lanham, Maryland. And in November, I would have been in business for 20 years. Anything else you need to know?
20 years. Wow. That's crazy. So basically since 2000 or 2001.
Mm-hmm. 2001. November 2001 is when I got my license in the mail.
That's the year you came out of high school?
That's the year I got my license in the mail. I came out of high school in 99.
Oh, okay. That was dope.
Whoop, whoop. Sorry, girls. Do bow.
The year of 99. I think Cash Money had just took over and I was starting high school.
So I have a story.
Okay.
So Cash Money was coming and they were taking over. And so me and my girlfriend, 3 of us, we were trying to get to this concert down in Howard for homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a Cash Money concert, biggest concert going on. And of course I was in charge of getting tickets. We were like, well, we're not going to get, we ain't going to get all cute too much with your booties and your boobs and stuff out. We ain't going to do that because we going down to D.C., to Howard, it's Cash Money. Things going to get a little crazy. So we went and bought matching
outfits.
Matching sweatpants.
Okay.
Yeah. Gray sweatpants and hoodies and stuff. Because we wanted to be comfortable. And we needed to carry some blades and stuff. And so we was planning. Planning where we going to put the blade. We got to make sure we got on the right shoes just in case, we got to, fight, run, the whole 9.
Mm-hmm.
So we was ready to go, had the tickets. But then, damn, they canceled the concert. I don't know why they canceled the concert, but we was ready to go to that concert. But yes, they canceled the concert, but we was suited and booted, ready to fight, cut, stomp, and shake our asses in sweatpants.
So y'all had the outfit with no place to go, basically.
No place to go.
Wow.
No place to go. But I remember that because I went up Landover Mall to the Macy's, or was it? It might have been Hex. To get the tickets.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did they ever loop back around and come back and redo a concert?
No.
Okay.
Not in that year, and not in my time that I was trying to go see them.
Okay.
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, I guess as a group, that was like the last year you could really say they was touring and the shit was popping.
Exactly.
Okay. So, as long as I've known you, hair has been your career / I guess you can say thing you did.
It's my life.
It's your life.
It's literally
okay.
Blood, sweat, tears, sleep, eat, drink.
You got like a blow dryer and a comb tattooed on your back and saying about this.
It's actually on my arm.
Okay.
It doesn't say about this, but if you see the tattoo, I am about this. I am about this hairstyle in life.
So what brought you to the cosmetology field?
So I have an aunt, a favorite aunt. So, okay, let me backtrack. So I have an aunt, and growing up, my mom did not take me to get my hair done. It was, Miss P's blowing curls and relaxes in the house. But she would take my sister to go and get her hair done. I don't know what that was about, but I'm glad I didn't go because at one point they were coming home with Jerry curls and stuff. I'm not about that life.
That's just not you.
I would have completely died if that curl was in my head. But my aunt, Lisa, she lived in Essex, Maryland, Baltimore, Essex, Maryland. And periodically, my mom or my dad would drive me up to her place about an hour and a half away, and she would do my hair. And I loved going to her house to get my hair done because she would get me right. Because my mama, look at them school pictures. It tells a story.
This is a path you don't want to go down.
It tells a story. Big up to my moms and all, but hair not her thing. But we would go up there, and I didn't even have to say anything. She would just be like, "Oh, I'm going to do your hair like this," or she would just go for it and not say anything. And I would watch her intensely in the mirror, braid my hair, curl my hair. Usually it was braids and then curls, and I would intensely watch her braid. And I started trying to learn how to braid when my hair wasn't done, when I would have to take her style out. And when I would practice braiding on dolls or whoever was there, I learned how to braid. I did it, but I picked it up backwards. But I would get the job done. So when people watch me braid, they're like, "Yo, what is up with your hands?" Because I typically don't. It doesn't look like anybody else you see braid. So typically when people braid, ladies will get this, people grab the hairs with their pointer finger. I grab the hair with my middle finger, but the way my wrists are, they just look like little spiders down the head. But I got it. It's been my thing. And it just, it just went off from there. I just would intensely watch her in the mirror. And I just picked it up from there. She was like this hair goddess to me. And I guess now I still look up to her. I still, she's still one of my favorite aunts. But when you get older and you're in your, where you want to be, and now you're learning people's truths, I wished more for her. Because I have my license. I flourished and got my license, working my own business. And I wish that for her. I thought this whole time she was like me, like business, license, best stylist in Baltimore. And she missed that opportunity. And I didn't really learn that until I was grown. So I'm very sad by that.
She had a great skill, apparently. And
she wanted her license. She wanted to do what I'm doing. And when I talk to her now, She always tells me how proud of me she is and how, this is what she wanted to do. If it's like a shoulda, coulda, woulda. Mm-hmm. If I did this, I should have done this, blah, blah, blah. But I I guess it really didn't matter to me as a child because I thought she was the greatest thing since sliced bread. I thought she had given me a skill that she didn't even know she gave me. So.
And you took it and ran with it.
I took it and ran with it. So, definitely, the props go out to her. And, without her even knowing it. And the funny thing is, the closest person to me, the person that I shared a room with almost all my life, my sister, she actually worked in a salon. She worked in Delta Hair Designs, I think in Iverson. And I would always like, dang, my sister's so fly. Dang, dang, dang. She got the new hairdo. Da. This is after the Jerry curl.
Way to swing that back around.
But I'm like, oh, she's so fly. I was, she had, let me see. This is in the 90s. This is like 90, a little before 91. She graduated in 91. So this is a little before 91. And, she would come home. She had the MC Hammer pen. She had the original MCM purses and, stuff. Mm-hmm. And I just thought it was like the flyest thing in the world. But I never knew what that life was in the salon. I'd never been to a salon. I've never gone to get my hair done. I've never been to my sister's job other than walking past it in the mall. So like I said, the closest person to me, I probably should have got the experience from. I did not. But I wanted the experience. Like I was always curious, like, dang, what's she doing at salon? What they doing at salon? I need some tips, some tricks. And she was getting her hair done. She wasn't doing no hair. Yeah. So, but yeah, I don't know.
So did you start out like, doing your friend's hair or, getting like clients from like friends in the neighborhood or whatever?
So the earliest memory I have of doing hair is doing my own hair. Okay. And just like my mom not doing it the way that I wanted it done. Mm-hmm. That was the driving force for me to be like, let me do this hair. So I would, I think at the time, like 7th, 8th grade, kind of 6th at the end of 6th grade, but 7th, 8th grade definitely is when I got it popping. The beginnings. Because I wanted my hair in a certain way. And like middle school is, we out of elementary school, we showing up, new gear, new hairdos, new self. And so my parents did not take me to the hair salon to get the Holly Berry cuts and the Toni Braxton cuts and the neat French rolls, nice slick back with the hump in the top, the curls on the side. It wasn't doing that. The best I could do before I really started doing my hair was like pull it up in a ponytail and just kind of curl it and flare it out. Mm-hmm. It was just a mess. Just in a huge bang. And then it was a bang off to the side. So, the bang started to go across like a Chinese bang and then it kind of slanted and the hair fell on the side of your face. It was just a mess. But, I just really was like, I want my hair cut like, Holly Berry at the time. It was just a bowl cut, short, shaved in the back, tapered on the sides. And, I just really wanted that cut. And I was not going to that hair salon. So I cut it myself. And so we had a bathroom downstairs, a half bath in the basement. Mm-hmm. And I would be down there all the time doing my hair. And so I was down there cutting my hair, washing, cutting. And my mom came home and I would stay down there. My dad would be upstairs sleeping to prepare for work. So when my mom came home, I would peek, see if it was time for me to go up there. And so I just kind of walked up there and I said, look, my hair.
Mm-hmm.
And she wasn't mad. Now, a mom would be like, what the hell? You done cut your damn hair. So my hair I always had shoulder length hair.
Mm-hmm. So
I thought that's how it was going to go, but she just was like, if that's how you want to look, okay.
No judgment here.
Hey, listen, if you love it, I like it, I guess. And so, but when I shaved the back, I could never get that right. I will always come out with these two eyes in the back. And I would have to try and wear my collar shirts a little, up
mm-hmm.
to kind of cover those two eyes. But I cut it so damn bad.
It wasn't no hiding that.
Oh man, I cut it so, and I just kept doing it. But I mean, I felt like each time I did it, I had to perfect it. Eventually, I just stopped cutting it so damn low. And then I didn't have the tools. I didn't know the tools. I just knew how I wanted it to look. I never been into a hair salon, so I didn't see the shears, the clippers, the this, the that. I got some kitchen shears. Them joints pull apart, make the creaky sounds. And I just got the chopping. And I just made it work. Curled my hair real good. And I thought I was doing it. Started doing literally stuffing socks in my French rolls. And I was doing all types of stuff. But that's how I felt like I was keeping up with everybody else. My parents wasn't into, we in the salon every week, we in the salon every other week. We wasn't doing any of that. The best they could do for me was take me on up to my aunt's house
mm-hmm.
and get my hair done. I think also I started braiding when I would watch my aunt braid my hair. This is when now she's adding extra hair to my hair.
Mm-hmm.
So this is I can only put everything with like a movie or a song because that's just how I guess I record my life.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and I matches the hairstyle. So in this time, Poetic Justice is out. So everybody rocking the Janet Jackson braids.
Okay.
And so I couldn't get up to my aunt like I wanted to. Again, I'm in middle school and she's like an hour and a half away. So she did it for me once. And then I would tell my mom and dad, can you buy me some hair? And then I would just do it myself. And the braids came out really, really well. Braiding just kind of took over. Like I was braiding any and everything, everybody. It was just my thing. I still like the sassy cuts and all of that stuff, because there was so many actresses that were rocking these styles that I really still wanted and saw my friends wearing everything. But braiding just kind of took over for a minute. And then when I left middle school, my parents moved us to Texas. And I just kind of checked out. Like, we doing what now?
Can we talk about this?
I literally checked out. Like, what are they saying? This is like my mom growing up. My mom always threatened to send me to Jamaica.
Okay.
She was like, I'm gonna send you to Jamaica. You're gonna live with your aunt. It's just because I was bad, but I didn't think I was that bad. But anyways, but that would be the threat of my life. I'm sending you to your aunt. I'm like, no, don't do that. I'm going to be good for 2 hours.
Give you a little break.
But they ended up thinking moving to Texas was, I guess, a good start for the family. And would be a good start for me to stay out of trouble. Because, man, middle school those were some fun times. But when we got out there, I had a little boo that was here. And so we left. My mom took me to his house. I'm crying. I mean,
boo-hoo.
And he was an idiot. What the hell was I thinking? So,
okay.
But anyways, so we moved to Texas. So a little backtrack to the end of 8th grade. So if you're from PG County, or I'm guessing all 8th graders go through this, the high schools that are the neighboring schools for the kids, the counselors bring a team to your school. And so I was going to Thurgood Marshall, and Crossland, Forestville, Largo, and some other schools. I can't, but because so many people in the area came to Thurgood. So a lot of high schools came. So my school would have been Crossland. My sister graduated from Crossland, and all I knew was she graduated from there, I'm graduating from there. And I knew from her that they had a hair program in Crossland, the cosmetology program. So when they come, they map out your whole high school career. I mean, it's damn near like you're going to college. Mm-hmm. And so I told, when you get the paperwork, you're reading it, and I'm like, oh man, hair. So I told the counselor, this is what I wanted. And, you have to line up your classes, because this is now what you're going to be training and getting a license for, like the auto mechanic and barbering and all the other things they offer in high school. Mm-hmm. You have to make sure that you get all of your credits aligned so that you can enter the program. I think it started in 10th or 11th grade. I'm not sure. I don't remember. 11th grade. So you have a schedule. So I left Thurgood with 4-year plan. Like, I'm coming out of Crossland with my license. Mm-hmm. So in my mind, college was always on my mind to do, because I knew I was going to come out with what I wanted, which was my hair license. And then here my parents come, we're moving to Texas. And I'm like, I got my 4-year plan. I got my boo. I got my best friend. We rocking. I'm like, life is great. And now we moving to Texas, and I'm like devastated. What does it look like moving to Texas? I'm going to miss my friends. I'm going to miss my boo. I ain't going to go to Crossland and get, go to do the hair program. I'm like, this is not life. So we get down there. I mean, and I literally, I think I cried the entire drive to Texas.
Wow.
From Maryland.
Wow. That's the punishment in its own. We can go back now. I'm good. You will never hear me acting up again.
I mean, if they just gave me, I would have probably been a straight A student if I knew that safari van was going to make that UE and get back into Maryland. Because I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like life is over. So we get out there, and my mom didn't come with us at first. She was tying up loose ends here. And I think she was getting my sister settled, because my sister didn't come with us. She stayed to go to college and stay at my grandmother's. And so we get out there, and we get to having to register for school. So my dad more so was saying, they have all of what you want to do in the school, and the schools are good out here. And I'm like, okay. So I'm hoping, I have a little bit of hope that, they going to have the cosmetology out here. We go register. I have all my classes and everything. I'm telling them everything that needs to be lined up for me to do this hair thing. They tell me, we don't got that out here. Well, I just died again.
Wow.
And I'm like, so what? I'm at a loss, because I'm like, now what do I do? I don't know, just throw anything up there now, but I didn't allow that to happen. What I ended up doing is I took that paperwork from middle school, that transcript, I guess. They put me in all the classes that I would have done here. And I kept along that schedule because the whole goal, again, was here, but also the way it was set up, I would have accumulated so many credits that I would have accumulated early. And I just wanted to get it done. I focused more on band. I did play clarinet in middle school. Actually, I started playing clarinet in elementary school. I was going to continue in band. That's something to do because that's just what I learned to do. First chair. Yeah. So I did continue with that. And that kind of like took the place of, I guess, the hair thing because I did it while I was there. We were only in Texas for maybe a little less than 2 years. But it was devastating. To add on top of it, they didn't do like 9th grade, 10th, 11th, and 12th in one building. They did like a 9th grade center. And I'm like, what the So we don't get to see nobody but the 9th graders?
That's different.
So, the whole world was upside down. I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, okay. And then, we're going to, I think up here, they were talking about uniform, but if I would have went to Crossland, it would have been no uniform. I don't think uniforms came into play until after I graduated in 99. But we ended up having to wear uniforms. It wasn't like your standard uniform. It was like a white collar shirt, polo shirt, no logos, and denim jeans. Now, the variations of that were, for girls, were, of course, skirts, had to be to the knee, jumpers, and then you had to wear black shoes. Black shoes, no logos, no nothing. They were very strict on it. Something that PG County can learn from. But it was to me, it was devastating. I did not like it at all. So I'm just going through the motions. It was just a daze. So I was getting into a lot of trouble or whatever. I think for me, the trouble, it elevated a little. And then, I finished 9th grade. I go to 10th grade. We're still in Texas. I'm like, we are just not leaving, are we? So, so as I'm out there, I get the girls, the hair game in Texas for that, that age, 9th grade, because that's all I saw was 9th grade, was they call it stacking. So the curls would just stack. And we had a height limit of how high you can wear your hair. Because people would complain that they could not see the teacher in the board.
They was high top fading with the curls?
They was high top fading. They was sliding the curls a mess. But so, I never got into that. I think I kept my hair short. I was still chomping on my hair and kept it short. And, the girls that I would meet, they thought it was like the hot thing. Like, oh, you from Maryland? And they only saw DC. They heard Maryland and thought instantly DC. I don't really claim DC. I am a Maryland girl. Period. So, but I went with it. They were like, oh, you from DC? And something about, I don't know what it was, but they just thought like, I guess our style, big city, I guess, because the town was Beaumont, Texas, and it's like 2 hours outside of Houston. Okay. So it's like nothing out there. Like literally, I saw tumbleweed.
Yeah.
Real live tumbleweed. But they just thought, like, I guess style-wise, we were it. We were like, man, that's where you from? Oh my gosh. So, I don't know how it got started, but I started doing nails. And I would have people at the house, or I would go to them, or I would do their nails while we were in school. Somehow, some way, I would get these girls' nails done. And the nail game was it, man. They were on me. And in my mind, I said, I'm going to save up this money and I'm going to get on the first bus to Maryland. I'm getting out of here. Because this is not working.
Wow.
That in my mind, like I never verbalized it, but in my mind, you know, the money was so, I mean, they were, and at the time, I mean, getting $25 to do somebody's nails and having all these girls getting their nails done, that was a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then it turned over to me doing a couple of haircuts and curling and stuff. That's when I started doing my mom's hair a lot. I did her first cut in Texas. I think I cut it over one ear and I slanted it all the way down. That was a style. And then all of a sudden, middle of 10th grade, yeah, we're going back to Maryland. Me and your father, we splitting up, something. Who's going to Maryland?
Because that's who I'm going to live with.
Yeah, listen, whichever car, whether the Safari van or the Oldsmobile, the Cutlass, which one? First day smoking. I don't care. And so I never even thought about my parents' divorce. It wasn't a thing to me. It was like, oh, y'all splitting up? Cool. Who's going to Maryland? That's all. I guess, I always tell people when kids get to like 16, they're in that selfish stage. I've seen it. And I was in a selfish stage. I was like, Mom going back to Maryland? Okay, let's pack up my room. And they tried so hard. I had been asking to be put in gymnastics, I think, my whole little girl life. And to kind of give me something to do, my mom put me in tumbling in Texas just to kind of, you know, I don't know what she felt, but I'm assuming, you know, give her something that she wants that she can, you know, calm herself down. Like, I really hated Texas.
You let it be known every chance you could.
So she put me in tumbling or whatever, I was in tumbling so that I can try out for the cheer team, but I never really messed with a lot of the girls. I didn't click well with those girls. And so nothing came of that, you know. But when we got back to Maryland, man, then I'm thinking we're going to move back to Maryland and Temple Hills. And I'm like, I'm right on time. Like, it's 10th grade, it's middle of 10th grade. I'm going to go to Crossman. I'm going to do the hair thing. Yes, I'm right on time. I'm just going to be like, I never left. We moved to freaking Lanham.
Like, this isn't what I thought was happening. What is going on? What's Lanham?
How the hell far is Lanham from Temple Hills? Somebody tell me something. So I'm trying to map it out. I have mapped this thing and I'm like, man, I'm far from my friends. I don't know nobody in no damn Lanham. And then I'm like, so what school? And they registering me. Duval. God damn it. What they got? Cause I'm like, I'm doing everything. I got all the credits. I did all the credits they took. You know, I held on to that 4-year plan of when they came to 8th grade. And I get the Duval registration. Man, Miss Worry, I will never forget her. She ruined me. So I get in there. I have a gazillion credits. I'm doing everything right. Because I'm following that same plan. I don't know why I'm still following that plan, but I'm following the plan. And I give her the transcript from the old school. My mom gives her the transcript from the old school. And so I tell her. So I heard through the grapevine that even if I went to Duval or whatever school, if I wanted to complete a particular program, they would bus me to the nearest school that had the program. And so the nearest school for Duval was Bladensburg. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, well, I'm good. any way I can get this damn license, I'm gonna get it. So we go in there, they're registering me, and this counselor is saying I don't have enough credits. I'm like, I do have, and I kept saying I do have enough credits. I do. I said I did everything I'm supposed to do, plus some more credits.
Mm-hmm.
And she's telling me, no, you don't. I'm like, what do you? So I mean, she's the counselor. She's the adult. I'm the child. My mom, we're assuming what she's saying is true. So I just had to go on and take what I took. And I get to 12th grade, just a little bit of fast forward, and I go back to the new 12th grade counselor. And at this point, I got so many credits, like I only needed to do English and math. But I think I needed to pick up another class just because they could not release me after one class. It would have been great for me. But they would not release me after one class. And I had to pick up another class because I had to be there at least for 2 classes. So 12th grade year, when they did my classes, the lady is like, I think I had put down there that I was going to go to Hair Academy. I didn't know how that was going to work. I didn't know what that cost. In my mind, I'm just like, I'm going. Is somebody going to give me a grant? Do they give people grants before they graduate? Clearly, I had it all twisted. They do not.
Okay.
You do not get a grant while you're still enrolled in public school to go to any vocational schools. You have to have graduated and then you go in. So that didn't work. And I got out of school early, and I just got out of school early and went to work. I was working at McDonald's at the time. McDonald's, the grocery store, they're all over the place. But the counselor told me that you could have started this in 11th grade. You've had all these credits all this time. You could have been in the program, and I was devastated. I'm like,
wow.
The one damn chance, and it's the only thing I wanted to do, and it just was snatched. And I'm just like, well, how the hell am I going to pay for hair school when I get out? Because who's paying for it? And how does grants work with hair school? Because all I'm hearing is go to college, get a scholarship, get a grant, get a this, get a that. Nobody's talking about vocational school. Nobody in my circle. Nobody. So I just didn't know how it was going to look. I told my parents that I was going to get into investment banking just to tell them something, because I really didn't have a plan other than hair. College, to me, it just wasn't there for me. I knew it wasn't going to be there for me. So to go back through high school life, when I got to Dubai, I had a girlfriend that was there. We had been friends through middle school. There was also another young lady we had been in middle school together. It was 3 girls that was from my middle school that were there. 1 I knew well, 2 I just knew in passing. And I accumulated some friends, and I accumulated some hardcore friends. Like, these are my girls, like, to today. Some have dropped off, and some, like, 10 toes down all day. And when we were in high school, we had a lot of bomb threats. Like, it was endless. Like, I feel like it was a bomb threat every week. I wasn't really school oriented, but I kept my grades like really good. I think the worst grade I had was a C in English. Like, I kept that C going in English. I hated writing. I hated reading, but could do both really well, but just didn't apply myself. Math was my thing. And so when I would never be in school. I showed up on Wednesday for the rib sandwich.
Hey, I don't care what nobody say. Them rib sandwiches used to be fire.
Mickey D's don't get nothing on PG County rib sandwiches.
No.
But I think I showed up mostly on Wednesdays for that sandwich. And other than that, I was working. I think I was doing a little bit of braiding here and there. I remember getting the printers that have the perforated edges.
Mm-hmm.
We had a printer like that, and I printed off a couple of flyers. It had a rose on the side, and it said "Braiding and Hair" by Lydia, all in white paper, very pale, faded gray ink. And I started pounding the pavement early. I started putting them in all the apartment complexes near and far. And then my dad caught wind of it, and he had a graphic design friend in Texas. My dad was still in Beaumont. And he took my senior pictures, because this is now 10th grade summer, I guess. Or 11th grade summer, you do your senior pictures. And he took those pictures, and he took the one picture, and he put it on those cards. Man, I was everything until me nothing. I have arrived and don't even have a license. So I got 5,000 cards from this gentleman, my dad's friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I put those cards, by myself. I went, what's it? I lived in Woodland. They were all over Woodland. Countryside, Carlton East.
Okay.
I was up Greenbelt. I got a letter in the mail from Greenbelt telling me that if they caught me out there, they would find me. So that's when I started learning about the municipalities. Greenbelt ain't one to play with. Don't be floating through there soliciting. I had those cards everywhere. The Pizza Hut, the McDonald's I worked in, the grocery store. There was a Rite Aid in that shop. These cards were everywhere. I started giving out cards in school. Cause I had the phone number. Let's talk about the phone number on them cards. So when I got my job at McDonald's at 15, I got a pager.
Okay.
And my mom hated that. She did not understand. I kept saying, "Mom, I got clients and friends, I gotta call them. They gotta have a number to get me." And she was like, whatever. Whatever.
Wow.
And I think she was also like, it might have just went over her head, like, what is she doing? But she's like working, single mom here. It's three of us, 3 kids in the house. Now my sister's living back with us as well. And she's working 2 jobs. So, a lot of these things my mom didn't know that was going on because she was working a part-time after she got off her full-time. And she was working in, late. So, I'm still, I'm hustling, doing the underground hustling with the hair and stuff. And, man, those cards were everywhere. So the phone, the pager thing, she didn't like. So then the next year, I got a cell phone. And the pager came from 7-Eleven. Y'all know where Cipriano Square is.
Wow.
7-Eleven right there. I rolled in there, got my little pager, rolled out. And then the next year I got the cell phone. I went in a Radio Shack. Sprint was doing prepaid. I got the phone. I came home, told Mom, this my number. And she was like, "Well, what the hell you need a pager and a cell phone for?" Mom, people be calling, they gotta call them back. I'm tired of dropping quarters in the payphone.
Payphone, wow. When the last time you saw a payphone?
Yep, it's been a minute. One that actually you can put a quarter in.
Yeah.
So I think it all was like, what is this girl doing? I don't think it really clicked what the hell I was doing. So when I got this prepaid phone, it came with cards. And you were to fill out the card and put your number and name on it. So I would go to school and give them to my girlfriends. And they'd be like, "Girl, what is this?" "Girl, this is my cell phone number." "What? Did you need a cell phone?" So this card, the original cards had the house number and my pager number. The second batch of cars. So I got another round of 5,000 cars.
Okay.
Though that had my pager and my cell phone number on it. And I got a lot of traction off of it. I mean, it just started. I was still working. I think at this point it was McDonald's and KFC, or maybe McDonald's in the grocery store. But I just got a lot of traction from that. I was doing my girlfriend's hair, and I was skipping school to do hair. And when we had the bomb threats, we would, leave before they really rounded us up on the field. I got my cell phone, so I'm like, Mom, we had a bomb threat. I'm going home. And I would do my girlfriend's hair, or I would cook and fry chicken for them and stuff. So it was like head chicken, and I mean, but when I graduated being very salty, with Duval.
Mm-hmm.
I graduated being really salty because I did not complete my plan. And I think that's why I just didn't. I kept my grades up, but I just didn't. I knew I could have did better because I'm not a very smart child. But I just didn't apply myself because I just lost sight of what's next. Like, I'm not doing hair. I'm doing hair, but I don't have a license. I'm not going to get the license. Who the hell is going to pay for hair school? My mom is like, absolutely not. You need to go to college. That's the only thing I'm going to help you pay for. And I'm like, damn. Plan destroyed again. So I went to PG for a semester.
Mm-hmm.
And I hated every single moment of it. I just was like, this is literally the 13th grade. They were not lying. These are all the people I went to school with. We just in another building, catching a damn metro bus to this building. And I hated it. I took management, math 101 or 102, and English 101. And I did very good in the classes. Somewhat. I actually got a C in that math class and got an A in the damn English class.
You was like,
all through high school, I got C's in English and A's in math. And it flip-flopped when I got to the first year of PG. Interesting. And my management class, I got an A. And my major was everybody's major was business administration. Let's start there.
Okay.
Everybody's major, if it wasn't computers, it was business administration, because business administration covered finance, accounting, whatever. And at the time, I told my parents I was going to be an investment banker. I mean, at least that's what I thought. And I was on that path or whatever, and it was supposed to be a concentration in finance. Definitely good with the numbers, definitely good with the math. And I just was in a daze. I felt like I was in a daze in that semester because I didn't want to be there. And so I completed the semester, but I was investigating hair school. Like, how can I get in there? And I was just so green to it. So green to the process. Cause it's like somebody's telling you, no, you can't. I'm not helping you pay for it. And then somebody has told me it's not attainable the freeway. And that's the way I was going to attain it. So I just didn't know, like, it just kept being snatched from me. So I don't know why I thought getting into hair school was going to be like this big, hard thing. And it really wasn't. I had to make it pop. So I talked to my mom. I told her I wanted to leave PG and go to hair school. And she said, absolutely not. And one of the agreements was to stay in her house was you had to work and go to school. And I was working. I was doing hair. I wasn't, like I said, I was going to PG, but school was not hair school for her. She did not want that for me. She wanted a college. Her thing was college education was going to get me further than hair. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't feeling that. I knew college wasn't going to be it for me. Like, that investment banker shit it was just bullshit.
Yeah.
And then she said, call your father. Ask your father. So I called my dad, and I never got around to the conversation. Because I was just afraid what he was going to say. And so I started hair school, and he would call and ask me how school doing. He's talking about college. I'm talking about hair school. It's school good. What's going on in school? Everything's great in school. I'm doing good in school. Hair school. But how I got into hair school, I knew that I had to keep my grades up in PG because I got a Pell Grant to go to PG, and it paid for that whole semester. Mm-hmm. And because I left mid-year, I knew that I had to keep those grades up in order for me to transfer that Pell Grant. So I took the Pell Grant money from PG, and that's how I got into hair school. I was still under a certain age. Mm-hmm. And so when you do, even it still stands to this day, when you do your FAFSA form, if a Pell Grant if a loan comes up, you got to put your parents' name on it first. And then they have to be, if they're denied, then it will default to the child's name. And so when I came home with the paperwork, my mom was like, no, no, not putting that in my name. No. So she filled it out, and she filled it out to the point she knew it was going to be denied. And they did, and it defaulted to my name. Great. Let's go. I'm in hair school. So I'm in hair school, but I have this arrogance with me, like, I've been doing hair. I've been doing this. This has been my whole life. I don't need to really be here. I just need to get the paper.
Yeah.
So I kind of was like, yeah, I'm going to sign, I'm going to leave.
Wow.
So I was there, you do the first classroom. It's the first classroom. No, let me see. You do one classroom, and then you do the floor. You do 350 hours in the first classroom, and then you go to the second classroom. You go to 750, and then you do the rest of your time on the floor. So in the first classroom, I really did pay attention. And that's when I felt like, I don't need this. I just need the paper, blah, blah, blah. Pretty much I thought I was better than everybody in there. I could do hair better than everybody in there. And it took me till I got to the second classroom that I had to really tell myself, I don't know nothing. I really need the school to teach me. I don't even have the tools, knowledge, or nothing like I thought I did. So I did learn a lot in hair school. I had to humble myself because I was not the queen of hair like I thought I was. But I floated through school, in and out, skipping, and I got to the floor, and I had I remember all my teachers. Miss Nikki was my first teacher, and I still stay in touch with her to today. And then my floor teacher, though, Miss Cheryl, and she's still at the school. Man, this woman, she would send us home, man. Pedicures were coming in, and I wasn't there to do no damn pedicures. I was there to do hair. Mm-hmm. So these old ladies were coming in with, oh my Jesus, the worst feet in the world. Pedicure. But you hear it, it's cosmetology school. Mm-hmm. It's not hair school. It's all aspects of the beauty culture.
So what falls under cosmetology besides?
Esthetician.
Okay.
That's waxing. Waxing, facials, nails, a little bit of massage, like very generic massage, mm-hmm. and then hairstyling. Okay. So it's really beauty culture. Most states call it a beauty culture license.
So I guess you would consider that a luxury skill. It's providing luxuries for people opposed
I
to...
don't think hairstyling I don't think it's a luxury. I think these are things that you need.
But you can't like claim it on your taxes.
Yes, you can.
I ain't know that.
Listen. So remember I said I wanted to go for investment banking. Technically, I wanted to be an accountant if that was my backup plan. So taxes is my thing.
Okay.
If you have a grooming standard for work, you can write it off on your taxes.
Okay.
Think about this whole coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
The first time they wanted to open up salons, you had to get a letter from your employer saying you had a grooming standard, and that's the only way that we were able to work is if you came in and if that client came in with a letter from their job saying they had a grooming standard. Now I didn't do I ain't doing nobody here. I'm staying at home until I can do everybody's hair. But no, you can. There are ways to write off certain things. You gotta prove it, but you can write off some of those things. There are grooming standards. Some people just can't do hair. So yeah, you can. You can.
So I guess that was mainly for essential workers.
Yes.
Okay.
You had to be essential and you had to have a letter.
Okay.
So, but yes, hair school humbled me. I got out of there by the skin of my teeth. And I rolled right into my first shop. And that was Clemont's, but that wasn't my first shop. The first one that I signed up for was the nail salon 2 doors down. And then Clemont and he was working with Zoe, saw me outside and was like, so yo, you gonna be working at Phillips doing hair? I was like, yeah, you know. And they did something. They undermined him and built out something in the back for me. And I was at Clemont's. I think I was there for like 8 years. And it was literally the movie Barbershop.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was.
All types of stuff.
Literally, when we finally at the barbershop saw the movie, we literally was like, you are Eve, you are this person, you are that, you are definitely Eve.
Wow.
Because I would curse them guys out. And I love working there. I was so ready to work in my field. But I just wish I had a little more knowledge to save, just it was a good starting point. But I think not to say I was better than that shop, but I could have pushed myself to do better sooner.
And gotten out early on your own.
Yeah. But it was good. He really gave me a chance. I came in with some arrogance. Because he was like, you got clientele, right? And I'm like, yeah, I got clientele. So I got there, first 3 days, no clientele. Not a damn client. Beeper ain't going off, phone ain't going off, man. I'm like...
So that happened because you were in school trying to get your license and you didn't keep up like your normal customer base?
I did keep up with my customers. But in order for me to keep up with my customers, I had to either do it before school or do it after school. So I chose both.
Okay.
And so that's when the whole 5 o'clock in the morning thing started. Like, I would have people come to the house at 5, 6 in the morning getting their hair done. And then my clients were good to me, man. These ladies, man, they were everything to me. My clients are everything to me. If you started with me before I got to hair school, man, these ladies would come get their hair done, drive me to hair school, or they would pick me up from hair school after I was done and take me home to get their hair done. It was just the greatest thing in the world. You getting paid and people are driving you around.
That's dope.
I'll come get you, girl. Oh, girl, I'll take you to school. Then when I started working at Clemon's, I still wasn't driving. And they would pick me. They were like, girl, I'm going to come pick you up from your house, girl, because I got to be at the shop at 5 and I need to be to work at 9. And I'm like, okay. I don't know. It's all love.
That's dope.
But the first 3 days, I think the problem was I had did everyone's hair and transitioned to go to the nail shop and work. And I was trying to move in that, like I gave myself like 2 to 3 days to move. But then when Clemon swooped in and he cleaned up that room in like 24 hours for me to go in there, it threw me off. Like I just didn't have anybody's hair to do. So I think I paid him $80 the first week. A typical boot front is like $200 plus.
A week.
Okay. I paid him $80. I think I paid that gentleman $80 for like the first year I was in that shop. Ain't nobody I know can say that they ever paid $80 a week to work and pocketed all of their money. So it picked up for me. He brought me in clients. The other barbers brought me in clients. I still was getting cards made. I was still pounding the pavement with flyers and cards. I mean, my card, me going neighborhood to neighborhood putting out cards, that was nothing to me. It was just part of the gig. And so the clients it was picking up for me, and it was a lot of money. But I was also 19, and I didn't party in school. My parents did not allow that. So I'm grown, and now my girlfriend I met up with one of my girlfriends in high school that went to middle school with me. And so she would pick me up, and she took me to my first go-go. And man, just like a crackhead, it was
over from there.
Every freaking night we was out partying, spending money, buying up the bar, blah, 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 blah. And then, with my other girlfriends, my girlfriends are good to me. So I didn't drive. I don't know why. I think my mom bought me a car. That car didn't last long. And that was like really short lived. And so they were like, oh, just come on, get your girl. I'll come pick you up. And we spent so much money. And I was collecting so much cash. And if I just would have been smart enough to save it, I don't know. But that's one of the regrets, saving the money, because I was making it. But then I left Clemon's. We got into a little situation. It was an older shop. And we got into a situation.
It was time to part ways.
It was time to part ways. And my attitude, I got an attitude, but my attitude was way worse when I was working at his shop. Like, I was really, really raw at that shop. I would curse, cut my eyes. It was just nasty. When I tell you, like, Barber Shop, the movie, for real, I was always, cursing them out. But in all of that attitude, I knew what I wanted for myself. I knew what I wanted my place to look like. So I started getting things done. I did go back. I knew after 2 years of being on my license, I could go back and teach. That was something I wanted to really do and give back. So I went back to Hair Academy and I taught. I taught for 1.5 years, 2005 and 2006. And it was the greatest thing in the world, but the worst thing in the world. And I utilized that money to furnish all new furniture in the back of that barbershop, and in the way that I wanted it. Pink is my favorite color, so I bought all pink chairs. Black. I wanted a black and white floor. I wanted the black and white floor, so I got the checkerboard floor. Man, it just, I wanted, in my mind, that's just what I saw, what I wanted for myself. And I did, it's a funny story. I did paint it gray back there, because in my mind, I wanted this gray wall. Oh, Jesus. Who told me gray was a good color for the wall? Man, the owner of Clean came in and he was like, what the fuck? It looked like a goddamn submarine back here.
Damn.
He was like, you gotta get this off the walls. You gotta get this off the wall. He's like, no, we can't do this. So we changed the paint, man. Oh man, I gotta find that picture. It was perfect. It was gorgeous. It was perfect. There was still some flaws in the shop. It was an old shopping center. It needed a lot of updating. They were still using the twirling fuses instead of the switches. Yeah. And so one morning, my final time there, I had like 4 dryers. This is all my furniture. I had 4 dryers across in the back, and I had like 3 or 4 clients. I started at like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. I got clients under the dryer, and the fuses blow. Wow. It is 5-something in the morning. Who do I call? I don't know nothing about no fuses. I didn't even know they didn't have a box. I thought they had a switch, and I'm like, shoot. So I'm calling Clean. Clean. He ain't picking up the phone, so I'm mad. There was a barber that started every other week. He would start at 4:30, and he helped me move the chairs out to the front. So so the dryer chairs are now in the barbershop part. Okay. So I can dry these clients and get them out of there. I'm still trying to call Clean out. Call boyfriend at the time, now husband, Patrick. Man, I'm picking up the phone. Clients everywhere.
Just utter panic.
One thing, man, listen. I don't like for my clients to spend any extra time in my chair than that needs to be. Now we can kick it. We can have a good time. We can cut up. We can have some drink. We can do whatever. But one thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to hold you. Mm-hmm. So I have a thing that my clients, if you get in like a wrap and curl blowout, simple stuff, you're only going to spend like an hour and 15 minutes with me. And that hour and 15 minutes, we are cutting up. I'm not going to hold you. And that's my thing. That's my edge. That's what keeps me in business. Because if you have a 4 or 5 o'clock appointment, you can time me to a T. If you come at 5 in the morning, you're going to be out by 6:15. That's it. That's all. There is no, that whole, man, I spent the whole day in the shop. We not doing that. I'm not doing that. I've never wanted to do that. And it comes from never working in a shop for real. I've never gone to a shop to get my hair done. And I've never worked in a shop to see the bad habit. And that's not how I was trained at school. My teacher, Miss Cheryl, when we were on the floor, man, she would push us so fast. Like if I didn't complete a roller set, if I didn't roll somebody's hair in 10 minutes, she would send me home for the day. Okay. I'm like, you can't roll nobody's hair in 10 minutes with like 15 rollers. Like, I could roll 3. And she would send us home. So the timing was always I feel like she embedded that in me. Time management. So that is my claim to fame. I am never late. If I'm late, something's really wrong. Mm-hmm. But I'm never late. I don't make any excuses when I'm late. I don't like for clients to be late. Mm-hmm. I had a clock over my door at Clemont's in the shop after that, and the clients would be some of the clients would say to me, I'm always scared when I'm late because every time we walk in the door, you don't even look at us, you look right at the clock. So that ended. Patrick saved me. We got some fuses from 7-Eleven, and I was on and popping for the rest of the day. Cleon comes in. I cursed him from oh my God. I should have been ashamed of myself. Then he sent me a text message and said, do not come back. Pretty much I was fired that same day. It was either the same day or the next day. I think I had got a car at that time. I was my little Sentra, and I told Patrick, man, let's go, man. Let's go. We pulling up. And that Sentra was on 2 wheels to get into that shop because I was going to curse him, cut him, pound him into the pavement for firing me. And he, I got up there acting like a damn clown, totally out of proportion, the situation. And, another humbling moment because I had spent so much damn money. I didn't have